So, good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwatosin Gofile. I'm here to demonstrate the Module 9 guided lab walkthrough of the AWS Academy Lab. So, it's titled Securing a Web Application with Amazon Cognito. So, I'm going to share my screen now. So, we'll just start um, now. So, we'll close this. I'm going to um, refresh this just to be sure that I have everything updated. Because okay, it's on and I've started the lab already. So I'm just going to refresh this page, or I click this to start the page on another tab here. So I think I'll just go with this, move the tab here and close the previous tab just to be sure that we're doing the right thing. Okay, so now we are on the instruction. So we've loaded the page. So let's go through the instruction and see what we need to do. So we've loaded the, so the first thing is we check for the Cloud9 um details. Yeah, so click AWS details. We'll scroll down and find the Cloud9 URL. Just copy this and copy it and open a new tab here so I can have enough space for it. Let me paste it there. So I've pasted it, waiting for it to load. So I can close this now. Scroll up and close and minimize this. Okay. So now we've done this. So we are before while we're waiting for this, we're going to copy all this because we're going to fill out all this information. So you can open a notepad. I already have notepad opened here. I'm going to replace it with this. So this is it. So I'm going to I've pasted it there. So we're going to be updating it as we proceed with the lab. Then, while we're waiting for the Cloud9, we expect that we'll start on this prompt. We'll confirm that. Then we'll run this on the command line. So the first um, line of code downloads this folder code zip and it unzips it, then it navigates into chain directory into this, and then it runs this code which is in this resource folder. So I'm just going to copy this, waiting for the Cloud9 to load, minimize this. So we'll paste it and we'll press enter to ensure that all the command runs. So, okay. Think it's loading. So we are on the prompt like we're told, and we're going to run the um going to paste. As we paste, it begins running. Then we're going to press enter to complete the last part of the code. That's to run the script. Then at the end of we're going to get something like this. Then we'll go from there. We're going to copy the S3 buckets name and then the CloudFront distribution domain. So it's going to be something like this. So I'm waiting for that so that we can copy that while we just go through some of the other information. So, so we'll just wait for that before we proceed. So we won't complicate things. So it's back to the prompt. So the that's loaded successfully. So all we need to do is copy this and we're going to paste it here for the S3 bucket. Then we'll copy this, which is the cloud from distribution, and we're going to paste it here, the distribution domain. And so that's what we get from there. And then we'll continue with the information, with the instruction, I mean. So websites, we go to website scripts from here to website, then we go to the scripts, expand the script folder, then we open the config.js, double click it to open it. Then we're going to replace the CloudFront domain here with what we just copied here, which I still have on my clipboard. So that's it. Then we're going to save that. So after saving, we close. Then we change back to the environment folder. Then we update what's on the S3 bucket. So, well, we need to update this to our S3 bucket name. So we just copy this. We copy, we'll paste. So it runs the first line of code. The second one we edit before we run, before we press enter. Edit the S3 bucket name. So I'm going to pick it from the clipboard. This is our S3 bucket name, and I'll press enter to run it. So it has uploaded everything to the S3 bucket. So to start the node server, we're going to do this. We'll copy this. So this navigates into the node server folder, then it runs the node server. So I'm going to right click and paste, then hit enter to start. So we can see that we've started the node server. So we go to the AWS management console, we come here, then we search for CloudFront. CloudFront. So this is CloudFront. So in the description list, locate status. So we check. So we are on distributions and it's loading list. So we have one distribution here. And we can see that the status is enabled. So which that means we are good to go, not deploying. So we move on. Then on a new browser tab, enter the CloudFront distribution domain. So we're going to open a new tab. We're going to paste in the CloudFront distribution name, which is this. Then I'm going to hit enter to see if our site is accessible through the CloudFront, and it's there. So we're going to navigate to beds. So we choose one of the beds just for additional information. You can see that it's working, then we're back. Then we choose sightings. So it requires login. So we choose login. And it's saying I do not have access to Cognito. So we choose the browser where the beds app is running. Okay, close. So we can close this. So we keep this open. and let the node server run. So it's still running. The node server is still running, as you can see. So we'll move on to the next step. So the next step is to create a user pool. So this is where the instruction does is not tallying with what we have. With so we're going to start the workaround from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the Cloud9 instance. So then I will stop the node server by pressing Ctrl C. So now it has released the terminal and stopped the node server. So I'm going to paste a few commands which I'm going to share with us. So this I've written a code that we can use that I've saved on my GitHub profile and repository, and we can use that. So I'm just going to copy this as it is. So what this is kind of retrieve the repository, and navigate into the folder of the repository that has cloned, and then it runs this script. So so I'm going to paste it here. So as you can see, we've downloaded what's repo, we've navigated into the repo folder, and we now want to run the shell, the script. So I'm going to hit enter to run the script. So it's going to ask me to enter a user pool domain prefix. So what I'm going to do is that they gave us an example in the instruction, although we can use any name we feel like using. So I'll just stick with that. So this is it. So I'll just stick with this, something like this. So, and I'm just going to change this to maybe something else, maybe a different letter or number. So I'm just going to use number, maybe something like this. Then we hit enter. So this is telling us that this is what we entered. So it's creating user pool now. Okay, as you can see, let's go back. So it's returning user pool and an error occurred. So good. So it can't find the user pool. So that's what it means. So it did not create the user pool domain because of that. So we're going to wait for a while for the user pool um to completely create. Then we're going to run the script again. By that time, if it's okay, we're going to get um this user pool ID. Once we get this, we show that everything is okay. We will no longer get an error. So I'm just going to copy this because we're going to use that same name to when we run the script again. So I'm just going to do that now. I'll just wait a bit more to ensure that everything has been created before I do that. Okay, so let me just try it again now. I'm going to paste in the same name that I used so that it won't create another one. So it's going to check if that name exists, and if it does, it won't bother to create it again. So it already exists. So okay, now we are getting some information that we did not get before. I think it's now going. So we're going to press Q to escape this. And now we have all the information that we need here. So that means everything was successful. If we go through everything, we see that there is no error from when I run everything. So everything seems good now. So we're just going to um copy all this because we're going to be needing it. CloudFront domain, I think we have that already. We have that already. User pool ID. Let me just copy this. user pool ID. So ID, I'm going to paste that here. And the Cognito domain prefix, we'll copy that too. Okay. Okay. So then I think we are good. So let's check. Let's see. So that's code um works around all the information here until we get to um the task 3.2. So we'll continue from task 3.2 now. So now from the user pool list. So then we are going back to the um yes, to the console where we go to Cognito, Cognito. We're supposed to see bed app user pool. As you can see, we have that. That's good. So now we're going to user pool ID. We have that already. We've copied that from so we don't need to copy that again. So in the Cognito laptop. Okay, so we're going to create users now. So we're going to create users on Cognito. Mm. Okay, so we're going to go to user pool, select the app. Yeah, we're going to create users here. Users. So we'll create user. And the first user is going to be test user. Then I'll paste it here. And the password is going to be this. Then I'm going to create this. Then we're going to create another user, admin. And the user is admin. And the user password is this. Okay. So now then we would create user. Then we choose group tabs as well. We'll go back to the okay. Oh, we need to oh sorry, I pasted it in the wrong place instead of password. Yeah. Just want to be sure that I pasted the right thing. Let me just do that again. I pasted this. So I'm going to create user. Then um groups. We're going to create groups. And the name of the group is going to be administrator. Administrators group. So the name is administrators. So we're going to create group. And we're going to choose the administrator group. Then we add user to the group. Then we add admin to it. So to return to the earlier Tuesday, so we're going to come back to bed app here. Then we choose app integrations tab. Okay, so we just come here. We can't find the app integration tab, so we just come here. Then we are currently on app clients. Then we choose app bed app clients. So this is bed app clients. And we copy the client ID. So let's copy the client ID and we'll come here. We'll paste it here, app client ID. So we have almost everything. So remaining the identity pool ID. So we minimize. And then on the app client, bed client page, the hosted UI section, choose view hosted UI. So that as well, we won't find that. Although there's a portion that you find something similar on the logins page, because the hosted UI is a login page. So that's why you have that here, but you won't still be able to see anything to click. So we're just going to, instead of that, click view login page, either of these two. So it's going to take us to the Cognito hosted UI page. So we're going to enter the username and password of test user. So this test user, I'm going to password is lab password and sign in. You're prompted to change the password. So never. Then I'm going to use the exact same password again since I'm just a lab. Then send. So just never don't add is. So we are now logged into the web application. So the redirection is working. So that's good. So now let's move on to the next. So return to the browser tab Cloud9. So I'm going to come to Cloud9 IDE. Um, so we expect to stop the node server, which we've done before because we wanted to run the script we wanted to run. So that's been done, but we are now in a different folder. Let's see. In the Explorer, okay. So now let's go to Explorer, web scripts, then config.js. I'm going to double click that. Then we're going to change these parameters based on the information we've gathered. So we're going to uncomment all this by removing these four slashes. So leaving the last one. So we're going to replace all these parameter words we have on this notepad. So for the Cognito domain string, Cognito domain, this is it. Let's see. Yeah, Cognito domain string. Okay, this is it. This is a guide. So Amazon Cognito domain prefix. So that's what we're going to use. Domain string. And copy this. I'm going to come to domain string. Domain string. Cognito domain string. I'm going to paste that. So, and for the user pool ID, just going to copy this. User pool ID. Paste. And the app client ID. Client ID is here. We'll copy this. And come here to replace it. Okay, so do well to check that what you're pasting or copying is exactly what is needed. So the prefix of the cloud front, we're going to come here as well. Cloud front. Oh, this is it. Just the prefix. We need just the prefix. A copy. Then we paste. So that's it. So it's going to look like this, which is looking like that. Then I'm going to save that. Save. So we've saved that. Then let's move on. So now we're going to, on the terminal, run this command. So this navigates into the environment folder from wherever we are, and then it runs this. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to paste it. As I paste it, it will run the first, then leave the second one for me to press and enter. But before then, we need to um, change the S3 buckets. So you can use your keyboard, arrow key, and delete to delete that and replace it with the S3 bucket. I think we should have that here. Let me just copy that here. This S3 bucket. So I'm going to enter. So we've uploaded all the changes we've made to the S3 bucket now. Then to update the notes server file, run the following command. So we're going to navigate into this folder. We're going to change this, we'll change it to this, copy this and rename it as this, and copy this and rename it as this. So we're going to do that, paste it here, then we hit enter. So everything is good, no errors, which is good news. In the Explorer, we're going to node server, this node server, packages, package.json. We're going to open that by double clicking. Then we'll change the Cognito user pool ID. Where is it? It's here. So we'll change it. So we'll copy from here. User pool ID. This is it. So we're going to come here and we'll paste it. So it should look something like what we have here. That means as it's looking, make sure that there's no quotation marks or spaces. So everything looks good for us. Then we'll save that as well. So now we'll run the server, the node server. So whenever you want to run the node server, make sure you are in the node server folder, and we are there. So that's good. So we just copy this and we paste it here. Then we hit enter. So it has started the server. Okay. So we'll return to the browser. Okay. So now we'll refresh the page to be sure that everything has been updated. Then we choose sightings. So this time, the list of best sightings, okay, is not displayed. So it's not displayed. So we'll go to sightings, then we'll click login. So we're going to log in as test user. So it saved my credentials based on, I think, the last login. So that's why that's there. So now it's taking me back to the home page. We go back to settings. Now we are logged in as test user and we now have access to the information of the beds. Okay. So now we now need to check site admin. Choose site admin. So this need admin credential dismiss. So on the site admin page, choose admin login. So we choose admin login. Then we'll sign with a different user. Then that will be admin. And we're going to paste the admin password. Let's look for the admin password. This is it. And sign in. Then we're going to change the password because it's the first time. Then we're logging in with that. I'm going to use the same password. So just like I did with the test user. And send. So it's redirecting us. So let's go back to site admin. Now we can see that we are logged in as admin now. So we are logged in as admin. So that's good. So configuring the identity pool. So we come to identity pools, go to the console, we go to the Amazon Cognito, we come to identity pools, and we can see bed app ID. So click here, click there. Okay. So the okay, okay, pool, yes. And copy and paste the identity pool ID. Okay, identity pool ID. You can copy this, then we'll paste it in here. Identity pool ID. Paste it here. So on the Amazon Cognito window, choose user access. User access. Then add identity provider. Add identity provider here. And choose Amazon Cognito user pool. For user pool ID, choose the user pool ID with the name bed app. User pool ID, bed app. Okay. And the app client ID, choose the app with the name bed app client. This is bed app client. And in the role settings, and notice that default authentication role is displayed. So default authenticator role, and this is it. It's displayed. So, and then we'll save changes. So we'll review the authenticated access section. Authenticated access section. So we can see that it's now updated. So this is it. So now we move on to um so we return to the browser tab where the AWS Cloud9 ID is open. So we'll come to Cloud9. Then next, okay. So we'll press Ctrl C to stop the server. So I'm just prompt Ctrl C. So now it has released the prompt for me to continue. So now next, you update the config.js. So website scripts config.js. That's website scripts config.js. Okay, we have it open. Let me just open it again. So now we're going to update the Cognito identity pool. So this, we're going to uncomment this. and Cognito identity pool. Going to replace it. So you can just copy that from here. Copy, and then we'll come here and then we'll paste it. So everything looks good. Then we're going to save it. Save. Then 100. So we also open auth.js there. This auth.js, double click that. Then on line 91, we'll replace Cognito user pool ID. On line 91, we search for that. Line 91, Cognito pool ID. This is it. Going to replace that with the Cognito pool ID. So that's a pool ID. Copy. This Cognito pool ID. I'll paste it here. And that looks similar to what we have here. So I think we are good to go. Then we're just going to save this file as well. File, save. Then we push all these changes to S3. So just copy this and do it the way we normally do it. So we'll paste. Now back to environment folder, then we'll change this S3 to what we have here. So we're going to copy this S3 bucket name again. Copy that. Then I would use my arrow key on the keyboard to move the cursor back and clear back, and then paste what I copied, which is broken. Then hit enter. So now it's uploaded. So now we ensure that node server is still running. So just copy this to run the node server again and hit enter. So our node server is working now. So now let's return to the browser tab where the beds application is open. So this is it. So we'll choose home and then refresh the page to ensure that the browser is using the updated code. So now, then we choose reports. So we currently log in as admin based on the previous one. So we just log out from that. Then we'll go back to reports. Then we'll log in. Then we'll log in as test user. Test user. I'm going to paste the password of test user as lab something. Lab password. Then we sign in. Okay. So we go back to reports. Sign in again. And we can see we are logged in as test user. And after logging in, choose reports. Okay, we've done that. Then to verify that you have access to the temporary AWS credentials that you can use to interact with the DynamoDB, choose this. So we just choose this to confirm that. And we should get something like this. So, and that's exactly what we got. That means we're able to access the DynamoDB and check the table and count the number of rows on the table. So this test verifies that you have connected to, okay. You can now, okay, you can access DynamoDB table from the, okay, and verify that the table has zero rows. We can do that as well. Let's just quickly do that. Though it's not mandatory. So let's just DynamoDB. We're going to select tables, tables. As we can see, we have the best citing table. We can view what's on the table. So, so there's nothing on the table. It's blank. So the item count is 0. So that's correct. So that's the end of the lab. So if you have any questions, you can leave it on the comment um so just stop sharing now. Just stop sharing. Let's stop recording. Oh, I don't think okay, okay, I'll stop sharing now. Yes. And okay. So now we've come to the end of the lab. As you can see, we'll just quickly confirm. Let me just quickly share again, just to confirm that we have everything done correctly. We're going to submit the lab just to be sure that we have everything. So we're going to submit the lab now. Yes. And we'll wait for the reports. It's grading. I'm going to maximize this. Okay, so we have our reports. We can see we have everything done correctly. So we have 30/30. So as usual, after everything, the next thing is to end our lab to clear the resources in our accounts in preparation for subsequent lab that we need to create. So this marks the end of the lab. Thank you very much for taking time to watch this. If you have any concern or questions, you can just drop it on the comments or you can contact me if you have my contact. So thank you. Have a nice day.